DeviantArt. Founded in August 2000, DeviantArt is the largest online social network for artists and art enthusiasts with over 100 million registered members worldwide. For many artists, including myself, DeviantArt was one of, if not the first internet platform where they could share their work with others. While the website itself has faced its fair share of controversy, which has earned it quite the reputation, we're not here to talk about that today. Hey everyone, my name is Taz, aka Artsy Fox, and today we are going to be exploring my old DeviantArt page. I have a lot of fond memories with DeviantArt, participating in different events, building a community, and making a bunch of friends who I'm actually still in contact with to this day. While I'm not particularly the biggest artist out there, I was inspired by the feedback on my recent Tech Talk to go back in time and take a walk down memory lane. So, without further ado, let's go on this journey together. Here it is, folks, my DeviantArt page. It has 212 watchers, 470 deviations, and 32.9 thousand profile views. As a point of reference, that's more followers than my Blue Sky, but less than my Instagram. As you can see here, I've been a deviant for 14 years. My mother would argue that I've been a deviant for 31 years, but who's counting, right? Am I right? Anyway, at first glance, this probably doesn't look much different than my other pages, but that's because I'd actually continued to use DeviantArt up to as recently as 2021. My first major online appearance was somewhere in the ballpark of 2008 as Tammy Chan 20 on Gaia Online. Anyone else remember Gaia? Anyone? Eesh, now I'm really dating myself. I remember I used to have my main account and like multiple roleplay accounts that represented each of my characters, and each profile was decorated with my original art. After gaining a bit of exposure and popularity on Gaia, I discovered DeviantArt and decided to port all of my work over there. When I first joined DeviantArt, I used to go by TammyFox200. I don't think there was any significance to the 200, I just really liked the alliteration. And now with that brief history lesson out of the way, let's take a step back in time to the very beginning. As we begin this tour, if you look over to your right, we have my first DeviantArt post, published January 20th, 2011. This appears to be the cover for a comic that never saw the light of day. I could not for the life of me tell you what it was originally supposed to be about. From what I can tell, it involves werewolves and my character Black, who is featured here on the cover. For context, Black is the stereotypical pretty boy vampire, hence the Sasuke Uchiha haircut. While he may not have gone on to have his own series, Black does make an appearance in my current project, Truth in Our Lies, which is currently in production. Post number 2 I see is from the same date. I have a feeling I just sort of spammed a bunch of my old Gaia images on here, trying to make sense of what we're looking at. Can't even tell what the this is here in the middle. I'm pretty sure I just snagged that off of Google. Here we have Black in the Jonan Vasquez art style, which was really popular at the time. At some point, I felt like just naming him Black was too on the nose. So I'm like, okay, his actual name is Derek, but his nickname is Black, and so we have the name like forward and backwards, like Giraffe. I thought I was being really artsy and creative there. Moving right along, we have a piece that I remember being incredibly proud of, and we have a cat. Hi, Luna. Are you gonna rub against my microphone and mute it again? No, you're just gonna rub your butthole on it. Got it. Thank you. Here we have TJ during his edgy emo boy era. This was also drawn around the time where I decided he didn't deserve his left eye anymore. So the scene before us depicts TJ sometime after the main villain just pluck that sucker right out of his face. While he does still lose his left eye in the current series, the circumstances of which have drastically changed. Ooh, I'm gonna have to blur this one. Got a problematic band featured on his shirt. Just notice the description. Okay, now that I've collected myself. This is one of my all-time favorite pieces that I've done. His outfit's the best. Ooh woo. I wanted to discuss the actual composition behind this piece because this is when I first started experimenting with digital art for the first time. It was probably the most convoluted way I could have done things. I originally started as a traditional artist, so when I got my first drawing tablet, I didn't understand the concept of layers or layer effects. So what I would do is I would draw something on paper, outline it with Sharpie or Micron pens, then scan it to my computer, but then I would port it into Photoshop to adjust the exposure and clean up my blemishes. But then, and stay with me, instead of coloring it in Photoshop, I would then open it in another program that I had called Sketchbook Express and color it in there. One of the brush tools in Sketchbook had a multiply effect to it so that I could color over my drawing without it going over the line art. But remember, I didn't know what layers were, so everything you see here is on one layer. Ironically, I think I even photoshopped the band logo on Jazz's shirt. So I was just back and forth during the entire process. The reason behind this is because free versions of both programs came with my drawing tablet at the time. So I guess I was just trying to utilize both of them, but in the most ineffective way possible. I had access to the internet. There's no reason I couldn't have looked up a tutorial or something. It doesn't help that I actually took a Photoshop class in school at some point, but for some reason, Tammy decided, nah, the way I'm doing everything is better, and continued to work like this for several years.
No, it's nice. It's so nice. Oh my God, what's that? Is that hyperpigmentation?
Now, while there's a lot more that can be said about the art piece itself, from the anatomy to her skin tone, the real gold is in the comments. User grabs her boobs and run. Kinzu surprised, annoyed face. User, I'm sorry, you're just so tasty like Ann Black Gummy Bear. What the fuck? Hold on to your horses, ladies, and gents. It's only gonna get worse from here. Okay. Here we have a very nice, very normal portrait of TJ, mirroring the style we'd seen earlier with Jazz. Both of which are actually part of a much larger series of OC projects that I might look into redrawing at some point. What if I did it in my original workflow? This whole convoluted... Okay, I need to write this down because I think I just got an idea. Now, while this particular drawing seems innocent enough, it's the description that I can't get over. This is my Smexy Beast. Well, my first character other than Speedy the Velociraptor, who I created when I was 4 XP. And I love him to death. Tammy, what are you talking about? What am I saying? She was a teenager. Her frontal lobe hadn't even developed yet. Oh, but on the bright side, DeviantArt detected no AI was used for this drawing. No, just pure unadulterated teen angst. Good for me, I guess. Are you guys ready for this one? I don't think you're ready for this one. Okay. I know what you're all thinking, but this is not an OC, believe it or not. This is a real person that I went to high school with. If this doesn't scream 2010s, then I don't know what does. The fringe, the face piercings, the fingerless striped gloves, the pony bead bracelets up to his elbows. It doesn't get any better than this. Oh, look, see right here. These are real people that I went to school with that knew who knew who this was. Same user from earlier. Plays with his hair. Lost in his dark killer eyes. Yuso. Angry Yuso face emoji. Well, like, father like daughter, I guess. Oh, God. Because there isn't a whole lot going on in the image itself, I was actually going to skip over this one, but I feel like this is actually still a pretty significant piece of history. What I'm referencing here is an emote called Law Please that was widely used across DeviantArt. Down here in the comments, we have one of my friends suggesting that someone make a Tammy Law Please emoji. And if you scroll down even further, one of our other friends actually did it. And I remember just how epic this was for me at the time, and when I really started to feel like my community was coming together. Something else worth mentioning is that I used to portray myself wearing a hat shaped like Makona from the Clamp series Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, because I had one in real life and would literally wear it all the time. There was a point where I swore up and down that I was going to be buried in that hat. I actually still own it, but it definitely doesn't suit me anymore. Moving right along, next up is a portrait of Ureli in the same style as her brothers from earlier. Not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed that I didn't do more with the design around her. Like, I feel like there would have been a lot of potential here. What I think is crazy is I'm pretty sure I drew this one on notebook paper instead of sketchbook paper like I had with TJ and Jazz. So I mean, props to Tammy for being able to edit out the lines. Oh, here we go. I was just making a comment about that. Believe it or not, the original is just a sheet of notebook paper folded into 4 sections with these drawn on each section, XD. That was something I did a lot, where I would prefer to draw on notebook paper instead of in my sketchbook, because what I would do is I would use the lines as a guide. I'll just let you take this one in for a second. To quote Tammy herself, I think this is self-explanatory.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Everything about this post goes to show that I was part of the problem. I was part of the reputation. I'm gonna have to redact some of this. So my friend and co-writer for my current series used to have their own DeviantArt where they would post their written work. And this is Jazz attempting to promote it. What is going on, first of all? Is this a sorry excuse for a thirst trap? That alone is upsetting, but I am shocked and appalled by what I'm about to read. Disclaimer, the character Jazz would have been 18 at this time. It's bad, but it could have been a lot worse. Let's take a look here. Do you like a good short story about blood, guts, pain, misery, and honor with a capital H? Do you like guys with long purple hair? Well, then go to my friend's socials. If you're too stupid to figure that out, look for their username in Tammy's Friends. Anyone who does, send us a note with proof that you visited their profile, and you'll get a free commission. I'm not even going to read that next part. So tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your pet turtle. Just get the word out. Ooh woo. Okay, I think that's enough of that for one day. On that questionable note, we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. First, I want to give a huge shout out to my friend featured in an earlier segment. They're someone who's been with me since the very beginning, which was almost 16 years ago. That's half my life, which is insane. They're just one of many, many people who continue to shower me with endless support, who I just can't thank enough. They're the ones that have followed me through every cringy era that I've undergone, and after every hiatus welcome me back with open arms as if I never left. So yeah, I'm not the most popular artist in the world, but knowing that I still resonate with even just a handful of people is enough to keep a fire lit in my belly. And hey, if you want to show your support, feel free to subscribe and check out more of my work down below. This has been Taz, aka Artsy Fox, and I hope to catch you around. See ya.